live, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, we're on.
All right. Well,
All right. So we're live here on the historic Whiting Hotel balcony. We got some good friends coming in from. We got some folks from Illinois. There's not an S on there, or is there an S? That's how I mean.
I was going to say.
An Okie, he's going to say
Illinois.
Illinois. So
no, you're French.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we got a crowd full of 6,200. I think count as the dentist was over here singing. But we got another evening here. We're going to do a little rambling with Rooster and Pepper. And I'm introducing you to my friends here. This is Clarence Benish. He is a professor from the Pawnee College, just all around everything. Great guy. And he is the best rooster. These guys made peace. And I'm telling you, that's a pretty great thing to have here in the streets of Pawhuska today with the way things are going all around our two guys here that represented the opposing forces, and we came together. We took out the divide, and here we are. We're going to have some rambling with Rooster and Pepper on the historic Whiting Hotel balcony. If you guys are looking for some rooms,
You said it right this time.
That's right.
You got it right.
And I found it that you can book that online at historicwhiting.com. We appreciate you guys coming and staying. We're trying to build some isolated location things to do. And here we're going to do some entertainment with rambling with Rooster and Pepper here on the historic Whiting balcony.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm excited about having some thing there foreigners this far, that being that far north.
That far north. Yeah, they seem like foreigners for us.
Yeah. Of course, we all grew up saying Illinois-y.
Illinois-y.
But when we got to grade school, we got corrected. We say Illinois. So, but anyway, just get that out of the way right there, and just get that out of the way. Where are you all from? Part of the state?
Rockford, north central.
Well, I live pretty close down there where Superman came from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, I lived across the river, just south of Paducah. That was back in the 90s. And, in fact, I was telling somebody about that story. A lot of things happened while I was there. We had that school shooting. Late 90s.
Yeah, I remember that made the news.
I was supposed to be in that same school the very next day. Well, of course, I didn't get to go because it was and then there was something else that happened while I was there. Well, oh, my golly, I ought to tell this story.
Yep. What is this one?
Well, you
I know, it's why I'm interested.
Yeah.
You got my interest
now.
now.
See, well, first of all, why was I in Kentucky? I asked that question still today. Why was I in Kentucky? Oh, well, teaching at Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky. Go Racers. Now, before I came, well, they weren't winning too many. But while I was there, it was just, I figured it's my influence, being 6'4" and an all-stater.
Yeah.
Not all-stater, all-conference.
There you go. That's
It was way back, the last millennium. Well, while I was there, they made it to the top 16, and they played Duke East, and they did good. And so that was one of the things that happened. Well, the local priest at the Episcopal, now he had been the chair of the, it was Callaway County. That was the name of that county. The Callaway County Human Rights Commission. And he was fixing to retire. So he needed to find someone he thought would watch over that organization. Now, they'd been pretty inactive. Things were pretty peaceful there. But we always have those issues. So, position. But so you had to find someone a little on the goofy side to take an unpaid job, but a lot of us professors get this chance, you know. So, like, I advertise him now for a professor, and he's got to be able to do janitorial work as well. Fix the toilets.
You got to clean the toilets too.
I fixed one today, in fact, at the college. And I hadn't even been there in a while. It had been closed because of the quarantine.
All right.
And I go in there and I had to fix the toilet. But anyway, so I said, okay, I'll do it. And he said, every 6 months, just file a report. Well, you know, but I had to be sworn in at the courthouse. And I had to have a sheriff or a judge, or both. I can't remember now. So, okay, I'll go get sworn in. And now this is, I ain't jawing you about what I'm going to tell you now. And do you swear not to be involved in a duel or be a second in the duel? And this is part, it was back then, I think it still is. You Kentuckians out there, you let me know if this ain't true. You had to swear that you will not be partaken as the primary dueler or a second. You know, the guy that takes
second,
who carries the gun and shoots the other guy if something goes wrong.
The umpire.
You got to swear you will not do that before you can take an official position in the government of. And this wasn't. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't elected. It wasn't paid. It was just a volunteer, but it had some recognition in them as far as an official. I don't know what it was under. It wasn't under anything. Like I said, there was no funds. So I swore that, and they warned me before. So now don't laugh during this duel with pistols and all that. And you know why they have that? You folks up north there. You know why Kentucky has that in their swearing-in ceremonies? Aaron Burr.
Yep, I know that.
It goes back to Aaron Burr. You know?
That was a famous duel.
The famous duel with Alexander Hamilton.
Yep.
They even had a commercial about that a long time, you know?
Yeah, I've heard about it. And,
Yeah.
and the duel was a real duel, too.
That's right. It was.
It's like, what were they
And,
thinking?
anyway, so I
history.
want to take this honorary job every 6 months. Well, Doc, like I said, when I go somewhere, things start happening. 1 week later, John, it was no longer than a month, I had been chair of the Murray Human Rights Commission, or Callaway County Human Rights Commission.
Okay.
When a black town. And the next morning, they had 100 letters in their yard from the KKK.
Oh, that's not good.
They were all photocopies of the same letter because they probably couldn't find 100 people in the KKK that could write, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they found.
Yeah, they got what they got coming, though.
Now, you can look this up if you want to do the historical reference on this. It made international news. National news people, cameras, you know, the cameraman and the state news and da-da-da-da-da. Well, and they thought, well, who should we contact to ask them their official opinion on this racial incident? Murray, the Callaway County Human Rights Commissioner. And I just swore just a couple of weeks before that I wasn't going to duel anybody. But now I'm having to take on the hey. I kind of wondered about that, swearing I wouldn't do it. But anyway, well, I had to call for a rally. I mean, that's the least I could do. Webpage. And it was up for a long time. It may still be back out there in cyberspace, lost somewhere. But what I did, lot of time. I had to announce I was going to do something. I said, we're going to have a rally on the courthouse yard in support of the family. And so I took that letter and I rewrote it. Right,
Yeah,
right,
I do. Yeah, he's good too.
Yeah, I'm an editor along with my other talents. I was
Yeah,
telling
he
somebody else
did a
that.
lot of things he tells me about. But, you know,
Yeah.
he's really good at catching bad guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did a lot of that.
But yeah,
So I took the letter
You rewritten
and
the letter.
I just rewrote it. It
Okay.
just needed a little editorial work, is all.
Little adjustment.
Where it said, you know, here, I said, we welcome all kinds here. So you just need a little bit of editorial work there. And so I read that on national TV in front. We probably had 200, 250 people there at the rally. And now it's a small town. The college was 7,000 and the town was about 4,000. And this was pretty short notice. But anyway, well, after that, I had to do some reporting about every week. None of this once every 6 months thing. But the thing that happens to me, it's I go to a real quiet area, and before you know it, things start happening. Basketball team starts winning.
Because his ruckus is about everywhere, it just shows up. Do nothing but say, "Here I am," and that's what happens everywhere he goes. I'm telling you.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but maybe I'm just drawing it out so I can fix things.
It's just your personality draws it into you.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Well, it could be, but anyway, and that was a long. That was 1995. I believe that was 1995. Yeah.
She said she had some stories for you.
Sure. You got a topic? You got a topic?
No,
I just started. You all are so close to where I live, and I found out that Superman. Did you know Superman's just right across the river there in Metropolis, and they had a statue of him too.
Yes, they do.
And they still do. Yeah, and people tested it to see if bullets would bounce off of it.
Oh,
but, no, but they didn't.
No, not that bronze identity.
Not the statue. Now the real Superman bounced off of him, but the statue, bullets went right into it.
Oh no.
Or maybe even through it. But yeah, that was some time over there. In fact, that's where those cat stories we told. That's where that happened over there in Kentucky. You guys missed out on that. See, I had a cat that could talk, not talk, but could understand. I only figured 4 languages, right? 4 languages.
I got to ask you. We had a deal talking about cats, but the other night, and I think these folks might like it. Doc told us that there is a chupacabra in Pawhuska, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, really?
You ought to hear that.
Now, let's hear that story. Well, tell them what it is.
It's the real deal. I seen this thing. Anybody would know when you see something like that, it's not the same as everything else around here. So let me tell you, when I was going to work one morning, early, 7 o'clock, come by the cemetery road. I turn the corner and I see this creature jacked up on its back hind legs, low front legs, ugly long snout, canine sticking out the bottom. I mean, this thing was ugly. Looked like skin. This thing had hair sticking all over it. Had a rat tail that looked about 3 foot long coming off of its body. And I sit there and I watch this thing for 5 minutes. Like he just strolled right up over the old cemetery, right through it, didn't care. He was heading for the prairies where he was going. But the encounter I seen this thing was real. It was the real chupacabra. They're known in Texas. They've been shot by ranchers in Texas. But if they get one here, they'll rope that sucker and drag him to the fence. Let them know no chupacabras is welcome in Osage County ranching. There's no room for them.
That's right.
They
Now-
eat too many goats and chickens, don't they?
Well, these things are known vampires.
Oh,
They
yeah.
suck the blood of their victims.
Oh, yeah.
They chew the neck of a goat and they'll suck the blood out, and they won't eat the meat, and they leave the carcass. Wait, they'll bleed out chickens by sucking their blood out for the protein. But it's the most craziest thing you ever saw. I've never seen nothing like it. Probably won't ever again, but I have an actual chupacabra. People talk about Sasquatch. They're out there too.
And we're going to catch one of these days.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're going to catch
And
me
one of
and
these
Ned
days,
Pepper.
my
We're gonna
hideout
catch-
out here in the backwoods, experiences that I can't explain, but I keep my guns handy just in case, because I'm going to bring one to town, and we're going to show that Bigfoot does exist.
Yeah.
That's a fact, folks. I'm going to turn it back over. That was my chupacabra story, and it's a real deal. If you ever see it out here around the prairie,
Well,
you'll
give
know
us
what
a
I'm
call.
talking about. Just
Yeah,
holler at
I'll-
Give us a note if you ever do see a chupacabra out on your ranches out there. Chutney Barnard, you name them, they're out there, and I guarantee you, your ranchers are the ones that's going to see these things. So if you do, you better shoot them. They'll eat your goats and your cows. That thing. We don't like cow eating things around here. The only thing eats cows is us.
That's right.
That's right.
And for breakfast.
Steak and eggs is the best way to go.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you know, story on that.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
you know, now this happened back in 92.
Okay.
But Perry, Oklahoma. Now, you folks up there in Illinois, that Perry, Oklahoma may not ring a bell with you. But if I tell you what happened there, you'll remember why Perry, Oklahoma. Do you know why Perry, Oklahoma is famous? Oklahoma City bombing, right? In 1995. He was captured in Perry, Oklahoma.
that's right.
Just
That's
down the road
right.
from where I live.
A routine traffic
In
stop.
fact, that earthquake, that 4.2 earthquake. Oh, I got to tell them about that.
Yeah, that happened at
Yeah.
that happened at your home.
Yeah. It shook me clear out of bed.
There was
A pickup was driving across the pasture, and there was fences there, and there wasn't no driveway or nothing. Why would they be coming from the west? I could hear it coming, and then the next thing, it shook the bed. But then it kept rumbling. It kept,
that roar.
it kept. Well, there was a roar, but now it kept shaking. It lasted about 5 seconds, and I was already. I put 10-16, and that felt like a 4.2. But we got to wait 20 minutes for the Oklahoma
Seismograph.
the seismograph to
Seismograph.
report. You get there in 16 minutes, though.
Yes, they did.
Well, Pilgrim, guess what the magnitude of that earthquake was? Of course. 2.
Yep.
And that was just north of Perry, Oklahoma, where Tim McVeigh was captured. And if you go back to the video, Google that. Tim McVeigh being captured and being brought out of the Perry, Oklahoma. There's one highway patrolman there, and you can't miss this. It made every paper and every video. He comes out, and someone was shooting a picture. At the very time, he took a big old yawn. Well, that highway patrolman, and this is
Yep.
states, you put law enforcement, they live in the smaller towns. Because the smaller towns don't have no law enforcement. So they just live there. So you can knock on the door late at night saying, you know, there's a wild possum over here we need to round up. Might have rabies or something. That's another story.
I guarantee
But
I
anyway,
got a few of those.
that highway patrolman, Raymond Henry,
Bless him.
I had his daughter in one of my classes there at that school. And he goes down in history as the yawning highway patrolman.
The yawning highway patrolman.
That brought out Tim McVeigh at Perry Courthouse. And now you're going to find when you ramble with Rooster, one story leads to a whole bunch of splinter-offs. But we'll get back to what we were talking about eventually. Sometimes it's...
Now, we just got to go in circles sometimes, but it comes back. It's all good.
Because I was telling you...
Come on.
He was talking about that Cuba Cabra.
Cuba Cabra. Cuba.
Cuba Cabra.
Cuba Cabra. Cha, like a choo-choo train.
Choo-choo Cabra.
Cuba Cabra. They are mean and wicked. Don't trust them. They'll bite you.
On the other side of Perry, there, and this happened, I believe, in the 90s. A rancher out there had 5 to 20 cows over a period of time. I don't remember the exact number.
All right.
But they were being mutilated. And they weren't being mutilated like a pack of coyotes. Because like you said, you know, these Cabras just take the blood out and leave the carcass.
If they were
if there's pack of coyotes, they just shred it.
They would go right from the back end and work their way into the innards and eat it. This thing ain't being
anyway.
Like that. That's right.
This guy told Oklahoma State University they came out and they couldn't find a cause, and anyway, I really kind of hate to tell the story, and maybe I won't. But
now we're interested now.
Well, it drove the rancher kind of mad, really, and he came up with a few theories that got him in a little bit of trouble. And so, but they never did find out why those cows. Now OSU, the best one of my neighbors down there worked at the agriculture department, and he knew the folks that went out and investigated. And he said, yeah, it was just the cows were sick because they'd been inbred too much or something like that. He came up and said, but it doesn't explain their carcasses. I mean, that might explain why they...
I might be able to elaborate on that a little bit.
All right.
Now, you're finding these cows as carcasses. Well, let me tell you something. Aliens have been coming down and taking tongues, parts of the cows, and leaving the rest of the carcass laying. There's nothing that don't make sense. That's what I'm trying to say. You know how these old hillbilly outlaws try to talk. Well, let me tell you, I've seen aliens and I've seen things that you don't know about out here on these prairies. And you find a cow mutilated, it's been chewed up by something, but you know it's been cut up, eyes taken out. Why? A coyote, a varmint, they would eat the whole thing. There wouldn't be nothing left except for what the buzzards are going to be eating on next.
They got the clean plate doctrine, don't they? They clean bowl, they clean carcass doctrine. They don't leave until it's all gone. Or they'll come back, but they certainly won't leave. They won't pick out one part and then take off and never come back.
No, they're not going to be picky. They're going to eat whatever's there and leave the rest for the rest of them. But these things have been done. There's too much documentary on how cattle are mutilated in this here country.
By aliens.
By aliens.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't believe that, that could get to a whole other story that I could get into, but we ain't going to go into all that right now. But these mutilations are definitely kind of weird, and that's just not right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
See, I got an agreement.
Well, you know, Doc, you also might try another brand of. Moonshine too.
I've been meaning to change.
Yeah, to get something a little bit less.
That last batch I made didn't turn out too
you know, I was telling somebody, I hadn't finished that story, but you know those moonshiners. I was talking to somebody that just came back from Tennessee. Oh. Now, if you ever go to Tennessee, they still got moonshiners. Now they have a gift shop where you go in and buy their stuff. I mean, you know, they're not doing it for, like in the old days, fighting the law. They're doing it for tourists. So you can buy a quart of moonshine. And I saw them do this. If you shake that jar, you'll create a whole bunch of bubbles
Yep.
in it. And you know what that means, don't you?
I do know what
yeah?
that means.
This guy knows everything when it comes to alcohol.
I know what them
and,
bubbles mean.
What does those bubbles mean?
That means how much alcohol you're going to have in that bottle. If it takes a lot of bubbles to get out, somebody ought to get that bottle back to them and get you another one, because that ain't right. It should be very little bubbles. It should go and then bubble right off.
So you count, you count or look at the bubbles.
The higher the bubble count, the lower the alcohol.
There you go. I was going to say it the other way around, but he's the expert. I'm going to defer to him. But well,
I've had my share of it.
And they're so good at it that when they go ahead and test it, it's exactly what they said. They said it's 180 proof, it's 180 proof. They said it's 120, it's 120.
That's right.
And they can do it by just shaking that bottle and looking at the bubbles. And it's not just the number, but the size,
too. The size of the bubbles.
All kinds of things.
Big or small.
Yeah.
There's a lot goes into it, but those guys have got it down to a science.
Yeah.
How they can do it, they just do this and go, yep.
Yeah.
That'll be 80 proof.
Yeah.
I said, well, let me try it. Yep.
That's it. See, he can tell just by tasting it.
Yep.
Yeah. But they can tell by looking at it.
It'll take your breath away sometimes. Let me tell you what, now, you want something to clean you out. Take a little shot of old 180 moonshine. That'll help you out every day. One little bit's all you need.
Well, you know,
that's how I live to be this long.
Well, if the coronavirus and everything going out there, a person ought to keep a mouthful in there. Just walk around with a mouthful of that.
That's a good disinfectant, I guarantee it.
Yeah. And if you have to cough, just cough 180 out. You know?
Yeah, you still cover yourself.
And disinfect the whole area around you. At least 6 feet, maybe 12.
You might just do that with the moonshine I've drank.
Yeah.
It's better than hand sanitizer.
Oh, hold it. Oh, that reminds me. I got my jug here. I mean, my water canteen. Getting a little dry for all this talking.
Now, see, pulling the cork with old Rooster here now. I did that one time, and you know what? He kind of got the best of me on that.
Well, now.
We had fun. We're just talking water here.
Yeah, yeah. We drank RC and DP.
And DP.
Hey, you know, I ain't jawing you. This happened. After we did that, I taught his boy. Oh, a fine young man. My gosh, a fine.
Good boy. Yes, he is.
And he named him Dale. And well, you tell him. You tell him.
The late, great Dale Earnhardt.
There you go. And his middle name is Perryman.
Perryman.
And I thought, well, that's DP.
If it's DPS, it's disaster per second.
Well, I was focusing on the first two. And I said, I'm going to call you a DP.
DP and RC.
And he said, well, can I call you RC for Rooster Cogburn? I said, sure.
Why not?
And I said, I'll tell you, I'll go one step further. I'll go buy an RC and a DP, a Dr. Pepper, and we'll toast. And your boy how old is he?
9 years old.
Can you believe this? He was 9 years old, and his pa hadn't taught him how to toast yet. I said, well, you come on down to my room after we rambled. We rambled quite a while that night, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And I said, I want to teach your boy how to toast. And we poured about that much RC.
It's not moonshine.
It wasn't moonshine. It was RC and Dr. Pepper. And we went around and we showed him how to do it. How to toast and how to say a toast and how to clink your glasses and everything. Took him a while, but he pretty good. Yeah, everybody had to do it so he could see it demonstrated. Well, I told you that story to tell you, and I ain't jawing you. This happened just a few days ago. Dr. Pepper got a hold of me. I ain't jawing you, Scott. Dr. Pepper wants me to carry a sign on my car.
DP. DP.
Because we were talking about Dr. Pepper. Yes, I can show you the email. That's I don't know what it is about Scott, but I tell him stories and he don't believe me.
Well, he tells so many himself. I think he don't believe half of what he tells himself.
That's probably true. But anyway, I thought that was neat. So
you know how it is with Scott. Sometimes he can get pretty good with them stories. I love it. You just got to hang in there and watch what he does
I have to
next.
defend myself here.
Oh no, he's all good, folks. I
So,
promise you
we got,
that. He's got stories.
So, well, we're going to probably have to wrap her up for the night here. This has been an excellent little experience here.
Wow, we're just getting
Hey,
started.
warming
Well,
up, ain't
we got some.
Claire?
We got some folks who are
Rooster?
we're gonna get the private experience here, where we're gonna do a little bit more John here. But guys, next time that you go to buy a Dr. Pepper, I would like you to remember that we have Rooster Cogburn here, and it's going to be the new spokesmodel for Dr. Pepper, and I'm hoping that happens real soon.
Well, I ain't accepted their contract
Oh,
yet,
be a
okay?
Pepper. Drink a
So,
Dr. Pepper too.
Yeah, so
And then
I may hold out for a little more than what they offer.
I think you should hold out, and we do
23
a combination of
flavors,
moonshine.
Dr. Pepper.
I was waiting for Royal Crown Cola to get a hold of it because we mentioned RC
RC's got to be
as
part
much
of
as
this.
we did.
Yeah.
That's right. So we're gonna have
A bidding war.
we're gonna have
There
a
you
big
go.
war between RC Cola, Dr. Pepper, and some kind of moonshine company.
Oh!
We're working hard for
Hey,
that. So
now you're talking my language now.
I forgot.
Junior Johnson's probably got the best moonshine out there, folks, and he's a legendary NASCAR driver, and I guarantee it, his White Lightning is good. I've had it. Come back and see it. We'll have some sometimes. You never know.
Well, that's how old Granny on the Beverly Hillbillies. That's how
Hey.
she put it in her car, and they could outrun anything in that old truck.
That rheumatism medicine run anything.
Yeah. And you know, I have. You ain't gonna believe this story. Those folks won't believe it either, but I can show them a picture. I've got a 1939 Chevrolet pickup with a wood bed flopping around. Yes, just like almost like the Beverly Hillbillies. They had a high one though. I had a low size.
You had a low side.
But you know, fold over fenders, headlights coming out of the fenders. You know, fold
that
over
old
hood.
hillbilly truck.
Yeah, had a crank. That's what I learned to drive in.
Wow. Oh,
When
boy.
When I was 12 years old, or 10, that's when farm boys learned to drive. When
running
Hey,
moonshine,
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, most farm boys drive a tractor when they're 6 or 8
Yes, sir.
because they only go about 10 miles. Now the ones now they'll go about 20, 25.
Yeah.
But back in that day, it's pretty slow. So you start out slow on the tractor and you put them middle of the field. There wasn't much in they could hit.
No, yeah. You don't want to
But,
go too fast.
Once they got that down, then you moved them up to the pickup and drove around the pasture a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I learned to drive in. It's still out there. It's still out there in the pasture. So, but I want to give a shout out to Forgotten Oklahoma, and I forgot to bring my T-shirt. Forgotten Oklahoma has over 86,000 members, and it started by my good friend Amy Hedges.
Wow.
Two doors down at the Earthquake Icon Building in Pawnee,
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Now, you folks, you remember the
building.
earthquake in Oklahoma? Earthquake,
It down
the
there took out the
largest
whole
earthquake.
building.
You didn't feel that in Illinois?
They felt it in New York.
But not Illinois.
5.9. It was on, I believe, September 3rd, 2015. No, 16.
16, yeah.
16.
It was,
It made national news. I was in far east Arkansas when I heard it.
I felt it here. I felt it here to my house. It rattled me in my chair and my windows in my house when Pawnee went off. But we felt it plumb to Pawhuska.
Well, the big old rocks, buildings like this, and they had big old stones came falling 2 doors down from my theater. And, well, that earthquake was only 6 miles north of me. See, it's like he was saying, a lot of things happen in my vortex. That's what it is, a
Something
vortex.
about Pawnee. Yeah, I know. My sister lives in Pawnee. So you guys have things that happen right there that's kind of a little different.
Yeah, a
sometimes.
little strange. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit strange. But anyway, I was going to give a shout out to her.
That's
And
good.
but I have a T-shirt. And if you want to get one, you can order online and you get to ask for the Rooster discount.
There you
I won't
go.
tell you how much mine was, but you can always ask for it. You'll probably get something. You might get slapped, but you might get something. But anyway,
I might have to
you
rob
wanna wrap
one
it
from
up,
him. I
we
got
can do a private
don't worry, I'll take
or
it.
we could ask them.
I'll get me a shirt.
We could ask them one thing.
One thing.
One topic.
One thing. What
Give
is
us a topic and we'll give you a story.
Give him a topic.
Any topic.
You put her on the spot.
Open up a book and look in there.
Horse riding.
Horse riding.
Horse riding. Well, now,
How
what do you
about
You
bull
got-
riding?
How about both?
Well, okay, I'll tell a real quick horse riding story.
riding.
And this guy's, I mean, he's done it all.
I've got some
This
stories
guy's
there.
the current day Ben Johnson here.
Oh,
Anyway, My riding experience is more like, well, John Wayne, you heard the expression, courage is being afraid but saddling up anyway.
Saddling up
You know where that came from? When he was learning how to ride a horse. He was born in Iowa,
Who taught him how to ride that horse?
and Hollywood did.
No. Hollywood didn't teach John Wayne how to ride a horse. Ben Johnson told him how to ride a horse.
There you go. I
He
should
showed
have known.
him. He didn't. He had the way to go, but John learned from the best. When he rode, he stood tall in that saddle, just like Ben Johnson did, and he could start roping. But Ben Johnson was the best at it, and he made John Wayne look good. I want you to know that right now, that those horses John Wayne rode were the best horses you could ever own. And this man right here would tell you about how good horses are. 'Cause he was one of the best riders in the movies. He's just right up there with Ben Johnson. He can't get no better than these two guys. When they worked together, they was magic.
Have y'all been to the museum yet? You going to take it in tomorrow? Well, you know, Ben Johnson is the only...
My wife's the coordinator of the museum.
The only Academy Award-winning movie star that also has a golden rodeo belt buckle.
He's
So
also
he's
got
the only one to have those two high honors in both of those two different industries. But anyway, my horse riding story, we told you, that's just the background. We always have to lay a background foundation for our stories, don't we?
Yes, we do. Even for the audience out there in the streets that's listening to us, this is what we talk about, stories all day long, and it's all good.
It's all good.
And when we got these rides we're talking about, let me tell them a little bit about the wild horse races we have here in town.
All right.
If you ain't heard of a wild horse race, you take feral horses, you break them into the arena, you gotta grab one, two guys, you gotta saddle this thing. And let me tell you, you're getting kicked, you're getting stomped. This horse don't want no saddle on his back. But the trick is to get him saddled. Once you get him saddled, you gotta get on him and ride him. Well, that horse don't want to go but where he wants to go. So you got to figure out how to get him across that finish line to break that light to win that money. Well, these guys will do everything. These horses are bucking and kicking, and they don't like them saddles. And these guys, I've seen them buck and cross those, break the light and win. It might take them 15, 20 minutes, but they get her done.
They get her done.
And that's just kind of another thing they get into out here, is the wild cow milkings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're longhorn
Those guys that
cows.
do the wild cow milkings get beat up more than the horse racers do.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you now, if you ain't even seen a wild cow milking,
Oh, I have.
they take these wild cows out of the old pastures that's got these calves. They're feral cows. They don't want nothing to do with human beings. They're raising their calves. Well, they round these up, bring them to the arena, and they rope these cows. And now one guy's got to get off and milk this thing. That's when the fun begins. There's kicking, stomping. This cow don't want nothing to do with him being milked. All you got to do is get that much in a Coke bottle. That much, just to show you got some milk. That's a process in its own. But whenever you get done, you run to the start and finish line. Or ride your horse if you can catch it to break that light. And that's just some of the crazy wild rides out here that we got going on. And Rooster knows about some of these wild horse races and things like that. And John Wayne is one of the best horsemen that ever lived. And I want you to know that.
Well, this is a personal story. I saw all them movies about people jumping on a bareback on a horse and and doing all kinds of things. And Native Americans they could fight. They didn't have saddles. No, they just hooked them legs on there some way, and they could shoot a bow and arrow and
They could
throw
shoot
a
from
knife
underneath the horse.
Yeah, they could shoot underneath. Yeah, that's right. And if you come to the Pawneeville Wild West show, you'll see people doing those tricks. Absolutely out there.
Absolutely. For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. And so I was. I think I might have been a teenager when I did this. I saw that
You was a teenager?
at one time.
I didn't know that.
And a nice looking buckskin.
Oh,
One of those buckskin's
Yeah.
army horses.
Yeah,
Looked like an army
Them
horse.
old buckskin, they're good looking
Yeah,
horses.
Pretty. And I thought, I could jump on that. I can with a bridle or saddle, nothing. I just jump on it and grab its mane and just hang on and see if he'd, turn with me pulling on his neck. Well, he had other ideas. he spotted a fence. that actually it was a gate between two fences, and the barbed wire was just one wire. Stabilizing these two posts. There was going to be a gate between there, and it was just, and he could go under that wire. And it just so happened, he went under that wire, it was level with his back. He ducked his head, and that wire just went across his back. So he had the mind to scrape me off.
Literally scraped him off the
Literally at full gallop.
Horses are smarter than you think.
At full gallop. So I'd run him out in the pasture, and he turned around and he headed for that gate with that wire going across to about this high, about high as his back. Full gallop. Now, a smart man would have bailed, but a brave man.
You did like me, you hung on.
Well, I hung on. He came right up to that. He came right up to that and put his brakes on and stopped.
Where'd you
That's
go?
the true story. I still riding on. I still on back.
You didn't get thrown off?
I didn't get thrown off. I didn't get scraped off. But he sure wanted to see. We played a game of chicken.
I've done that.
And I won.
I lost.
And I said it because I might have been petrified and I couldn't move, didn't have a choice, but I don't remember for sure. But I do know I never jumped off that horse or fell off the horse, but I never rode that horse again, by the way. We had an understanding after that.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, that's our horse story. And you wanted us to wrap it up and do Rambling with Rooster with the Rooster package here at the Whiting Hotel. You just call old Scott and we'll come down. We'll jaw with you all night. We'll pop a cork and jaw all night.
Pull a cork and jaw all night.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with us here on this historic Whiting Hotel balcony. We got some good guests. We got some beautiful ladies walking around down the streets here. We appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us here in the streets of Pawhuska.
I
got some opening for some saloon girls.
Oh my God.
Come on up.
Why did I tell you he was taking so long
we're gonna
for to
sign
get
off
up
for the night.
there?
We're going to tell you guys thank you very much. Safe travels out there, and when you come to Pawhuska, you know we're going to be here ready to try to entertain you, and we got a place here to stay. There's several, but if you'd like to come hang out with Rooster and Pepper and all of us around here, it's historicwhiting.com. Guys, thank you very much, and we're going to sign off. You mind hitting that button there, Don? All right, guys.